I think with every good Chimeran enemy, the first thing we kind of think about is what is the player experience that we want when they're encountering these enemies.
We definitely wanted it to be more about player choice and for it to feel like the enemy AI was reacting to what the player was doing. And to do that, we wrote something called the job board, basically a tool that designers can use to control how many enemies can be doing what jobs in combat so that they can still have that kind of scripted, good-feeling cinematic battles. And using the job board, they can do things like assign a certain number of defenders, or a certain number of flanking enemies, or a certain number of just straight-out aggressive guys who are going to run after the player and attack. If things felt more random and you just had guys everywhere acting stupid, you can get into situations where you have big difficulty spikes or the difficulty just completely drops out. It can definitely make the player feel like they're fighting a more intelligent foe.
The Grims are, for lack of a better term, almost aborted hybrids. So they're halfway between human, halfway between a hybrid. Malnourished, malfed. That's why they obviously move a little slower. They tend to be more numbers of them, but they're not as smart or as intelligent as a hybrid. They don't use weapons. They just try to melee or throw whatever debris they can find around them. The hybrids are becoming more stronger because it's now their environment, it's getting closer to their homeworld. In R2, we had the hybrids that had a lot more armor to keep them colder and sort of to insulate their bodies, but now that the world is getting colder, the hybrids are tending to wear less armor because it's more like their homeworld. The long legs started as an idea of how can we make a jumping chimera. We had initially some more bird-like creatures, some more dinosaur-looking like creatures. Dialed it back, we designed a very intricate, detailed hydraulic system for his legs that allow him to kind of jump and hover as he's moving around the level.
The Brawler, we wanted to bring back kind of the intensity of the Titans from earlier Resistance, but have them much more agile. Have them be able to come down on you really fast.
Almost indestructible. He has weak points which, unless the player shoots those, he isn't going to do any damage to him. He is a melee character who runs around destroying whatever's in his path, including you.
Okay, how do we make that fun? How do you fight that? We don't want it to make a bullet sponge either. We don't want the player to just kind of sit there and pelt, 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 back up, pelt, pelt, pelt.
Animation-wise, we wanted to feel like he was moving more like a gorilla, like a silverback gorilla. We didn't want him to feel like just a dude in a suit.
The thing kind of develops on its own in rough form as we're developing the art style, kind of how you make him a Chimeran-looking creature goes part and parcel with how do you make him feel good and fun in a situation.